Hey, Steve and Reza here. Welcome back to Unbottleneck, the podcast and vlog where we solve common and uncommon digital marketing questions.
Both common and uncommon, and a few bizarre, some beyond, and a couple Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, Bed Bath & Beyond, I like that.
It is a great place for a loofah. How are you, Steve?
Fantastic, Reza. How are you?
I'm good. I noticed we're both wearing black shirts. We
are
are
the
back
men.
in black.
We are the men in black, the SEO men in black. Well, welcome back. Last show we were talking about kind of what is SEO and the search engine optimization thing. We'll get into other digital marketing topics as well. But one of the things that I get a lot of questions about from business owners is, now that I've decided I have to do this thing, what do I do? What are the tools? What's my team? What does a strategy look like? And I thought today we might kind of solve some of those basic questions. Where do you want to start?
Sounds good to me. What are the tools exactly? Do you need a chisel? Do you need a hammer? What do you need? Break out some tools.
You need a consultant.
Let's fill up this hardware kit.
No, I'm kidding. You don't need a consultant because then that would make me a tool. And
I do like the way you pointed
at
at yourself, very sexy. Like, just that did kind of make you a tool, and that is what you need for a proper SEO. Let's get into it.
It doesn't hurt, though, to have somebody with a little experience help you along the way, because there's a lot of information online about search. I would say the first thing that you need when you're starting with search is some way to track your results. The easiest way to do that is this free tool called Google Search Console. All you have to do is just follow its little wizard to make sure you claim your website. And you can actually track your keyword rankings and search terms using that tool.
So you're telling me that's how Google has been working this whole time, is with a wizard.
Exactly.
So there is no actual people or science involved. It's a wizard. You heard it here first.
The Wizard of Goog.
Steve, with his credentials, is now backing the statement that Google is run by a wizard. I'm sorry, I'm just stating the facts. That's all I'm
There's
doing.
two wizards, actually. Larry and Sergey. Apparently, they...
Larry and Sergey?
Yeah.
What? I was honestly hoping you would have said Larry and Balky. I'm like, are they perfect strangers? We don't know.
I actually used to be told I look like Balky from Perfect
Really?
Strangers. Yeah.
That's why I do appreciate that you still went with someone that was Russian, that Sergey. I don't know. I think it's because we grew up with that we have that connection.
It's possible. Yeah. So other tools, Google Search Console is the first thing that you could get into. It's free. It's easy to use. There's a lot of keyword tracking tools. If you have a little bit of money and you want to put some dollars into it, I would say SEMrush, RUSH, is a great place to start. You throw your website in. It gives you a lot of information about technical things and content things and links to your website and other things that'll help you kind of get started with search.
So essentially, it's a place that'll just kind of like break down all of the things that you need to do.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
For the most part. I mean, there's other tools that are a little bit more comprehensive for crawling your website and looking for duplicate things and issues. But at the end of the day, search is really, it's about making sure that your specific page is the most relevant for the search term that somebody's using, and that your page is the most visible off the website and how people are quoting it, mentioning it, linking to it, which is kind of the core of Google's ranking signal. And then lastly, it's about affecting how users interact with your listing in search results. So when somebody performs a search, yours stands out in the search results, either with an extra row or a thumbnail or a statement that really gets them to want to click, and then they stay on that page. If they go back and they choose a competitor, that happens enough over time, Google starts to infer maybe you weren't a good search result and they start moving you down. But those are the three areas of search that are going to be the most important.
Is there a way to have it pop up with a link to have like a bunch of arrows pointing at the competitors below you, and it just says that guy from Google?
You could probably do something like that in an ad. You just have to. You can't use the F word though. I don't think that'll work. But that's really interesting. We did. They did do this update recently where they changed the little picture, the favicon that shows up in the search results, and somebody actually put in one that had the word ad in it, and it looked like it was an ad because it had the same space of where the ad button was.
Interesting.
But yeah, they pulled it eventually. But that was kind of creative. That hey, they have new icons. Let's play with it. Let's put an arrow in there. Let's put a middle finger or something, or something flashing that
Yeah,
says
I'd
click
be
me.
all for that.
Yeah.
Let's put Sasquatch in there. That way we won't have to search for him anymore. That would be nice.
So one interesting thing that some people have been doing with their titles is they're putting emojis in there. Like if you have a phone number or something in a description, they'll put a little phone emoji. It's kind of neat.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're
So-
actually right. I have seen that.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see that pop up now with different ads.
It's rare, but it happens. What are other tools that business owners could use? I would say the Google Search Console. Bing has one as well called Webmaster Tools. There's also let's see. I mentioned SEMrush. If you really want to look at how other websites are linking to your competitors and to you, there's a tool called Ahrefs. AHRE.
F's?
Fs. So tools are important. There are a lot out there. The other thing I think that's important for a lot of businesses that they don't always take into account. You always hear college students talking about, I do social media. I do Facebook. I do Twitter. And you ask them, what do you do? I just post stuff.
Yeah.
There's a massive lack of strategy
Yeah.
in all of these things. And I mentioned a few areas like technology. What are the tasks that your webmaster needs to work on? What are the tasks that your digital PR person needs to do to get other websites to link to ours? What are the tasks that our content writer has to have to make a really strong information architecture on your website and to just build amazing content?
Yeah.
There just isn't a lot around that, and a lot of businesses don't actually take time to create a baseline of where the heck am I now when I start. And
No, they just hire like a
it's important.
20-year-old to run their Facebook page, and they just post pictures of themselves using the products with #blessed. That's pretty much all it is.
It's true, and that's one of the challenges I think that the digital marketing world is facing, is that there's not a lot of strategy involved in anything that they're doing. It's all just kind of thrown out there because they saw someone do something, so they're gonna just try and test.
Yeah.
So I think if you're a business owner and you are about to do about to get involved in search and work on that for your own company, you've got to start with a plan. Figure out what those tech tasks are going to look like. Figure out what content we're going to need to have, and that's where either a consultant, strategist, or even an agency,
Somebody
would
like
get
yourself.
involved. So yeah, well,
Okay.
so we're stepping a little bit away from consulting for the most part, but we do have a lot of things on our site that'll help.
So let me ask you this.
Sure.
When did this become a thing? Like, when did SEO actually become a thing that you have to do?
Yeah, I think when people started using search engines and realized that their business wasn't showing up back in late 90s. In the late 90s, people started to realize these really audacious websites with the scrolling marquee and all the crazy stuff, they just weren't really driving traffic. It was actually, we were using, I think earlier we were talking about Ask Jeeves. Remember
Yes.
Ask?
I was sad that nobody asks Jeeves anything anymore.
Yep. There was Excite and Alta Vista and all sorts of crazy search engines we used.
There was a
before Google
lot.
was
Like,
even
there were a
thing.
lot of like prototype search engines because people thought they were going to be the next Google or the big thing.
Yeah.
There was some bizarre ones out there too. It was like, hey, you don't know where you're going. And that was a place, I think, to get like map directions. There was another one, what are you doing tonight? Let's find out. If you just wanted to find people to like hook up with.
I actually have never heard of those. That's an absolutely amazing thing. I'm going to archive.org tonight
Yeah.
to check out. So let's see. We talked about tools we could use. Talked about strategy. What does your team look like? If you've looked at your web analytics and you've decided, holy crap, I need to focus more of my time on Google, and you get everybody in the company bought in that everything that they do affects Google search results, and then you reward everybody when search results start driving more business, the team that you're going to need is somebody who's tech savvy, who can play with your website and make changes, hopefully testing to make the page faster and more secure and a better experience and convert more of your visitors. You're going to want somebody who's really good at buyer psychology, who can write really strong, persuasive sales content, and then create supportive content that answers questions and the when, what, how, why, strategy, ideas type queries that people make. And then, the digital PR person needs somebody who's a little bit more on the charismatic, outgoing side, who can pick up the phone and say, hey, I love the thing you wrote. I did something that's similar that might be helpful. Would you love to, contribute or share or cross-promote? One thing that we didn't talk about a lot was the paid search side, the advertising side, because there's so much information in there. When you start using Google ads and Bing ads, you can pull all that information in And that becomes the catalyst to driving really good content, to exploring really good native advertising opportunities that could long-term result in links. And could be a win for your whole strategy.
Now, see, like I could understand like a smaller business needing something like this, but like, what's the point of using it if you're already like Amazon or something like that?
Well, Amazon doesn't show up number one for every query. So if you're in Amazon, you're the SEO guy for Amazon.
Now that's a query in itself, that Amazon does not show up in every query.
Or what if they do show up, but not every single time somebody clicks on it because some other brand like Etsy has a prettier search result. So the SEO's job is to make Amazon's search result prettier so they get more of the clicks in a result.
But I mean, is it really necessary when Amazon is everywhere and owns all of the world? Like, who doesn't know that they exist?
Yeah, I just had my Amazon implant the other day, so now I can just go into stores and I'm like, don't even need to leave. It's amazing.
You just click on your thumb and it like just picks up
Look,
from
it's
your
$9.99 right there. It's pretty cool. So
if you do next day delivery, does a drone actually pick you up and take you to your item?
Soon.
That would be amazing.
They actually do have drones now that are being tested. Both Google and Amazon are testing them. Alexa for purchasing products, which still isn't very
Google,
prominent.
Amazon, actually Bezos directly, if I can talk to Bezos himself. I got 2 words for you. There's only one direction this is going. Skynet.
I can't disagree. Well, this has been a great episode. I think we talked about tools and what your team should look like. We talked a little bit about some basic things for search, and I'd love to get more questions and solve more problems. And I want to hear your ideas. How can we make this show more helpful for you and more fun?
And can I say that I appreciate the fact that we both came dressed as a duo, as if we're about to go in for a breakdancing competition at a high school talent show. So. Yeah. I'm all for it. Let's go bust out some windmills as soon as this is over.
Do you know I actually won a lip sync contest in high school
doing
pop Michael Jackson stuff.
Was the song Taylor Dane's "Tell It to My Heart"? Because that would be absolutely wonderful.
No, it was Michael Jackson, "Dirty Diana."
I have so many questions about this, as I'm sure everyone else does.
Oh God, I'll put a link to the clip so that you guys can laugh at me later.
Please do, because I would love nothing more than to see you sing "Dirty Diana" with passion.
Yeah, it was lip sync. I didn't sing it, but I tore my shirt off and threw it around, and it was crazy.
It just gets better. It just gets better and better.
It's time for SEO tips.
That's me. Anyway, let's get into it. 4 things all websites should have to qualify to rank or advertise in Google. Number 1, a valid SSL certificate to address security. Look for the padlock in the address bar. Number 2, a link to a privacy policy so visitors and Google know that personal data is protected. Number 3, a website design that responds to any device while maintaining the same web address versus different desktop and mobile views. Number 4, trust signals to prove legitimacy, such as links and mentions from other trustworthy websites. That was a short one. Hope to see you soon.
And now it's Steve Wiideman with the most important news you will ever hear about SEO.
Hi, I'm Steve Wiideman. Today I want to talk about one of the challenges we have in the digital marketing industry, and that is getting buy-in from every team member as it relates to search engine optimization. It's not just the SEO's job to ensure that we're showing up in search results. It's everybody's job, from the CEO and advocating and making sure that the folks who are involved in SEO are getting what they need from each team. It's the PR folks and getting buy-in for using search terms in press releases and linking to the correct landing page within a press release. It's the writer's job to be thinking about keywords and how their content is performing. It's the person who's on the webmaster side of things and making sure that their pages are constantly improving, not just for keyword rankings, but also to make sure that it's improving in conversion rates and it's fast for users on mobile devices and looks great on any device, from a BlackBerry to a big screen TV. It's getting everybody involved in the process and communicating between the different groups, saying this is what our goals are going to be for SEO, and here's how I need everybody's participation. And then when you're done, at the end of the day, you go back to those reports and you share those successes and you tell everybody, this is what your help contributed to the results of our company, and here's how much new revenue we're able to drive thanks to you buying in and believing in this SEO thing that we're doing. And do it individually. Don't do it as a group and say, hey, thanks everybody. Instead, do it to that individual person and just reach out and say, hey, because of you, we got more revenue, we got more leads, we got more sales because you believed in SEO enough to help us with that link or with that content or with getting the group to be accountable to our SEO. So again, buy-in, super important if you want to be successful at search engine optimization and marketing. If you have any questions or ideas you want to throw at me or the group here, my Twitter is just at SEO Steve, and our company group here is at Wiideman, Wiideman. Tweet us, send us your ideas, send us your questions, and we'll do what we can to help. This is Steve Wiideman. Thanks for watching.